Welcome and thank you for joining us at our annual Hispanic Heritage Month.
When Senator Menendez asked me to come here, it was without equivocation and hesitation that we said yes.
No one can deny Latinos' growing influence in American culture. We've been captivated by the talent and wit of actresses like Gina Rodriguez and Eva Longoria. We cheered for Diego Luna as he fought for the resistance in Star Wars Rogue One. It seems like every day the creative genius of Hispanic Americans break new records on YouTube and drives what's trending on Twitter. Like Puerto Rican singer Luis Fonsi, whose video for Despacito, vamos irnos a la playa en Puerto Rico, hasta que las olas diga ay bendito. Anyhow, that is now the most watched video in history, 3.9 billion views. And let's not forget how we sang along as Hamilton took the nation by storm. Only for Lin-Manuel Miranda to inspire us yet again with his powerful remix, Immigrants, We Get the Job Done. During the Olympics, we rooted for New Jersey's own history-making, proud Puerto Rican gymnast Lori Hernandez. And with his 98-mile-per-hour fastball, our favorite Dominican pitcher, Luis Severino, helped bring the Yankees to the American League Championship for the first time since 2012. Everywhere we look, the achievements of Hispanic leaders fill us with pride. Our theme this year, nuestra lema es Fuerza a través de la unidad, strength through unity. It's an opportunity for all of us to celebrate all that unites us, our shared heritage and proud history, our vibrant culture and enterprising spirit, our common dreams and collective resilience.
My grandson, Luis Andres, he's so beautiful. He's 14 years old. He's a freshman in high school. And his dad's from Mexico. And he said, Grandpa, in this arm, I feel real Puerto Rican, 100%. And then he raised his other arm and he said, in this one, I feel 100% Mexican. I thought, that's good, you know, that he's proud and he understands. And then he put both of his hands over his heart. But he said, right here, I'm 100% American, Grandpa. And that authenticity, right, of a child, right? It's just something that is just so unquestionable.
As many of you know, I visited Puerto Rico shortly after Hurricane Maria struck. What I saw was staggering. Having visited Puerto Rico countless times, both as an elected official and personally over the last 25 years, I can tell you the island I saw is not the island that we all know and love in terms of its physical image. I saw destroyed homes, buildings sinking into the earth, fallen power lines and bridges that had left entire communities disconnected in the dark. Millions have struggled to feed their families, access clean drinking water, receive medical care. So you can imagine how disappointed I was to hear the president dismiss the urgent situation in Puerto Rico. Yes, Puerto Rico is an island in a big ocean, but it happens to be an island of 3.5 million United States citizens who happen to call Puerto Rico home. As I said on the Senate floor, it's going to take more than paper towels to rebuild Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, this unfair treatment is no surprise to the people of Puerto Rico. They have been treated like second-class citizens for decades. We didn't hear anything about Texas or Florida throwing out our budget out of whack. We didn't hear about FEMA not being able to stick around for the long haul. It's just another reminder that throughout history, America's Latino community has struggled alongside other minorities for equal rights under the law, equal opportunity in our economy, and equal respect in our society.
If we can rebuild Europe after World War II, we should be able to rebuild the complete island of Puerto Rico.
But I want you to know this. So long as I serve in the United States Senate, The people of Puerto Rico will never be voiceless. Aunque los puertorriqueños no tengan un voto en el Senado de los Estados Unidos, siempre tendrán un aliado, un voz y un voto en el Senado de los Estados Unidos por este servidor. And there's no denying that for many Latino communities across our country, 2017 has felt like a very dark year. No further to look than the administration's immigration policies. The centerpiece being the president's decision to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA.
When the Dreamers were trying to find a way forward, and we had a president that said to us, I'm not a king, I'm not an emperor, I'm not a dictator, I heard Senator Bob Menendez stand up for the Dreamers and say, if we can't pass it legislatively, Mr. President, then you should take your pen and through an executive order, sign DACA and make the Dreamers have a possibility of a better future in this country. He stood up for them. I heard him. I watched him stand up for them. And so, Senator Menendez, it is that rich history, and I could go on naming the times that you have stood up for the American people and for our Latino community in particular. And that's why I'm proud, happy to be here today to stand with you here in New Jersey.
The White House is now holding 800,000 Dreamers hostage, demanding that in return for letting them stay, Congress adopt a mass deportation agenda. This decision has created a national emergency. Beginning in March of this coming year, the government will strip 1,400 young people every day of their work permits, driver's licenses, and security. DACA was never a replacement for a truly comprehensive reform, but it was a real step forward. It gave hope to 800,000 young dreamers across America, and I refuse to let their lives be ruined in the name of nativism. So whether we're talking about protecting DACA or helping Puerto Rico to rebuild, this year Hispanic Americans have learned that we cannot rely on others for leadership. So instead we must rely on each other. We must, as this year's theme says, find strength in unity. En la unidad está la fuerza. My friends, during all these challenges, I want to tell you that I have seen radical hope glimmering in our people. I saw radical hope in a 12-year-old Latina who came to Congress at a press conference with Congressman Gutierrez and I to show how her undocumented father, who had no criminal record whatsoever, was detained by ICE agents right outside her school. She's studying hard, she's training for a marathon, and she told me that someday she's going to be an immigration lawyer. That's radical hope. I saw radical hope at a women's health center in Jersey City where a woman named Irma was willing to share with me in front of live news cameras, no less, her struggle with uterine cancer and how the Affordable Care Act saved her life. Her courageous story, and so many like it, help us save affordable coverage for millions of working families. That's radical hope. And I saw radical hope alive in Puerto Rico, where Americans awoke after Hurricane Maria to devastation and isolation. But they didn't wait for the federal government to show up. From day one, they have been fighting to survive and to help their neighbors, clearing debris, sheltering those who lost homes, caring for the most vulnerable. That's radical hope, and I saw it in Puerto Rico. It's the same hope that gave my mother, Evangelina, the courage to start a new life in a new land with no sure path to success. She may have been Cuban, but she had American dreams for me. And the Latino community must never give up on that dream. Mantengamos vivo ese sueño americano. That's the radical hope that I look forward to fighting with for the days ahead.